champions. Let's see if it's loaded or not. Just a second. Okay, I'm just checking if it's actually started streaming or not. Yes, it has started streaming. First of all, tell me, how was your paper? I see a lot of you, Darshan, Chinmay, Rifat. Oh my god, UFF. Okay, let's start analyzing the paper. According to me, the paper was easy to moderate. Okay, it was not at all tough. We'll just wait. Yes, actually it was easy. So hi, let's start. Let's get started, or should we wait for 1 second? Okay, we'll wait for a minute and then we'll start off so that all the other champions can also come in. We'll wait. Thank you so much, children. I was so happy. Thank you, Abdul Kalam. Everyone, easy. All the questions that we discussed came, right? Yes. We'll just, and please share the link with all your friends who are there for analyzing the paper if they want to correct the things, okay? Then we'll start off. Okay, 60. Start. Chalo. Let's start. Then the first question that we have, pollen grains are well preserved as fossil because of the presence of sporopollen. Now, sporopollen is the most resistant organic material known. Is it true or not? False. It is absolutely true, right? Now, no enzyme that degrades sporopollen is known so far. That is also true. So, basically, both the statement 1 and 2 are correct. I'll say A is the answer. All of you got A as the answer? All of you got A as the answer? Tell me who all got A as the answer. Then we'll go forward. A. Great. Samya, Mohan, everyone is there. Hi, Mohan. Okay. Now, the next question. The process of transformation of spermatids into sperm is known as, the spermatids are there, they're kids, and now they're maturing into sperms. What do you call this particular process as? What do you call this particular process as? You call this as spermiogenesis. This is known as spermiogenesis. You got it correct? Yes? Next question. Which one among the following is essential for maintenance of endometrium and also for implantation of fertilized ovum? So basically, maintenance of endometrium, that means it has to be progesterone, my dear children, and also it helps in implantation of the fertilized. So B is the answer, everyone. Oh my god, all of you are absolutely correct. Going ahead with the next thing, select the one among the given that is probable reason for explosive growth of population in India. That means too much growth. So a rapid increase in MMR. MMR stands for maternal mortality rate. So this mortality, people are going to die, that means it is not the one that leads to population explosion. Similarly, infant mortality rate, again not the one. Increase in the number of people in reproducible age, obviously then the growth will be increasing. Now rapid increase in death rate, again no. So your answer is C. Who all got it C? Exactly. So great, my dear children, all of you getting your answers correct. Next question, which one among the following is a contraceptive method that involves no medicine or device? Tell me. Which one among the following is a contraceptive method that involves no medicine or device? Your answer becomes what? The answer is D. The answer is D. Coitus interruptus. There is no medicine, there is no device. Okay. In between the coitus, basically you're interrupting. That is coitus interruptus. This becomes your answer. There is no device, there is no medicine over here. Okay. D is the answer, and I saw someone thanking me for Chakraview. Thanks to you too for studying. Now, which one among the following ART, assisted reproductive technologies, can be used to rectify the infertility due to low sperm count? Low sperm count, my dear children. So basically, you can take the sperm and put it inside the female body. What do you call this particular process as? Intrauterine insemination, IUI. So this becomes your answer. Sixth D. Everyone is getting the answers correct? It's D. Yes, my dear children, and everyone, please send the link to your friends and ask them to join as well if they want to have a thorough check. Okay, going ahead to the next question that we have, it is, which one among the given is a symbol used in human pedigree analysis for consanguineous mating? That means mating between relatives. What is it? I already told you. 2 lines, if they are there, that means it's too close, that means they are relatives. So your answer becomes, for 7th, what is the answer? Everyone, for 7th, the answer is B. Yes, Pradeep, Vidya, Nanda, every one of your careers. Nagaveni, K. Smarty. Oh my god, I cannot even read the names. Great going, children, you're champions. Now, which one among these represent the flow of genetic information? How is genetic information transferred? My dear children, first thing, what do you have? You have the DNA. The DNA basically codes to mRNA. This is known as transcription. From mRNA you get protein. This is how genetic information is transferred. So your answer becomes what? See, you cannot write protein first. Okay, do not do that mistake. It's DNA, then mRNA, and then protein. Ma'am, thanks for help. Was highly dependent. Okay, thank you so much, Rashmika. So happy to see all of you giving the correct answer. Now, ninth. Okay, are we ready for ninth? If the change in gene frequency occurs by chance, it is called as by chance, my dear children. So the answer should be what? Genetic drift. If it is occurring by chance, then it is what? Genetic drift. Study sono, paper went bada. What happened? Okay, got it? Now, going ahead, what do we have? Which is the test that can be suggested among the given for a patient with symptoms such as sustained high fever and weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache and a loss of appetite? What is the answer for this? 10th question, answer. Basically, sustained high fever you find in typhoid. And for typhoid, what is the test that you have, my dear children? Saurav, thank you so much, my dear children. Ashwini also, thank you. Tell me this. 10th, what is the answer for 10th? Sustained high fever is for typhoid, and for typhoid, what is the test that we have? It is A, Vidal, exactly. So we are getting 10 on 10 until here. Let's go ahead. Which among the following is an enzyme modified by genetic engineering and used as clot buster, my dear children? A clot buster, it bursts the clots. What is it? It is streptokinase. It is what? Streptokinase produced from streptococcus, which is a bacteria. Yeah, and this is what? A clot buster. 11 marks we are getting. And now, in which method the plant cells are bombarded with high velocity microparticles of gold coated with DNA? You will only use the gene gun method for plants, nothing else, right? So in plants, what do you call this method as? Biolistics. It is known as gene gun, or it is also known as biolistics. This also we solved. Every question is something that we solved, right? So 12, B is the answer, right? Everyone getting your answers correct? And children who are not getting your answers correct, it's okay, it's totally fine. Okay, what is done is done. Now, the use of bioresources by multinational companies and other organizations without proper authorization and compensatory payment is known as, this is fraud, and this is done by US company for basmati rice. It was known as biopiracy, my dear children. So for answer becomes what? Answer becomes C. Everyone is in the same loop? Yes, Sanjay. No. C, it's Prakshit and everyone. Okay. Great. So until here we are getting answers correct. 13 marks pakka, right? Now 14th, in which of the processes given the humus is degraded by some microbes and release of inorganic nutrients occur? So the formation of humus is known as humification, but the breakdown of humus will be known as what? Mineralization. Finally the minerals go back into the soil, my dear children. So your answer becomes what? B. Are we getting answers correct? It's okay, Pradeep. It's okay. No problem. Done is done, right? Going ahead, let's go ahead with the next question as well. Which one among these is an example of ex-situ conservation? Which one among them is an example of ex-situ conservation, my dear children? That means they are preserved outside their natural habitat. So which one is this? Cryopreservation, biosphere reserve, national park or sanctuaries? These three things are in situ. The only one that is ex-situ is cryopreservation. We get 15 on 15 in MCQs if you all got this correct. Okay? Got it? Let's go ahead. Fill in the blanks question. Are we ready to solve fill in the blanks question? Let me just wait. Sahana, thank you so much, dear. Saurav, thank you. Okay, let's go ahead with the next set of things. Now, over here, fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate words for those given below. Okay, so few flowering plants have evolved a special mechanism to produce seeds without fertilization. Seeds without fertilization, it is known as apomixis. It is known as what? Apomixis, right? Now, single stem large mutation is, this was told by Hugo de Vries. Single step large mutation, what do you call this as? Saltation. This is known as saltation, my dear children. Now, dash acts on uterine muscle and cause stronger contraction during parturition. What is that something that causes stronger contraction? What do you have? Oh my God, all of you are getting your answers correct. Apomixis. Okay. Great going, champions. For this, what is the answer? For 18th question, I'll just rest down a bit. You tell me the answer. What is the answer for 18th question? What do we have? Dash acts on uterine muscles and causes Contraction, oxytocin, exactly. It is oxytocin hormone released from the posterior pituitary. Going ahead with the next question that we have, members of genus dash form mycorrhiza and absorb phosphorus from soil and supply it to the plant. Always I say it is what? Glomus. It is what? Glomus, my dear children. Okay, now going ahead, the step in which bands of DNA are cut out and extracted from the gel piece is termed as, what do you call this as? When you cut the band and remove it, the DNA band and remove it, what do you call this as? Elution. You call this as elution. And with that, we have completed all the basically 20 marks question. So at least we are getting 20 on 20 now for the children who are basically done everything correct. Okay, how many of them are there who got it correct? How many of you got it 20 on 20, 19 on 20? Okay, 18 on 20, 17 on 20. It's okay for children who are losing. Sumed, Vasant, great. And for children who are losing your marks, Channa Baswa, everyone. Oh my God, that's superb. Okay, and children who have lost your marks here and there, it's okay. Okay, we cannot do anything about it now, it's done. Shall we move ahead with the next question? Okay, Ashwini also got great. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I am also thankful to all of you. Let's move ahead. Should we move ahead? So here we have to draw the diagram of dicot embryo. Please make sure you are making what? You are making the cotyledons. Okay, there are two cotyledons. There will be a plumule, there will be a radicle, and there will be root cap. At least these things should be there. Okay. Should we be discussing all the answers, or should you want, as anyone of you want me to discuss any particular MCQ once more? Lavanya, 15 on 20, it's okay. It's totally fine, okay? Children, tough. Okay, I'm getting it slow. Anyone wants me to go ahead with any particular MCQ in general, or shall we move ahead with the other things? What do you suggest? Okay, just a second. Let me see. No? Continue. Okay. Differentiate between linkage and recombination. Linkage is basically what? How much close the genes are. That is what you mean by linkage. Recombination means that the crossing over between the homologous chromosome. That is known as recombination. Now, the second difference that you can add up is that linkage, if the genes are more closely linked, then it won't lead to more genetic variation. If recombination is more, that will lead to more genetic variation. At least you can add like that. Okay, works? Paper went hard. It's okay. Don't dwell into that. What's done, it's done. Next question. AUG has dual function. Justify the statement. What do you mean by AUG? AUG is what? The start codon, and also it codes for methionine amino acid. So some of you are telling me start with the 5 marker first. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead. Over here we have okay, this is the 5 marker question. So first question, a breeder is interested in crossing different species of plants to combine desirable characters to produce commercially superior varieties, my dear children. Okay, now what major approach in crop improvement program would you suggest to the breeder to achieve this goal? What is that? Artificial hybridization. I will suggest artificial hybridization because we want commercially superior varieties of plants, my dear children. Now what are discuss in details the techniques involved in this process. The first thing that we do is basically we take plants of superior varieties, whatever we want, yeah, we select the plants, and then we do what? And then basically we are going to remove the anther, and this is known as what? Emasculation, yeah, and then we are going to bag it, and then when it matures we are going to put some pollen grains of the hybrid variety that we're looking forward for, and again we do the bagging and wait. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to write down for a 5 mark question, that is this. And now for the 43rd question, analyze the below given transcription unit diagram and answer the given question. Name the parts A and B. A is known as structural gene. A is known as the structural gene. Okay, and what do you mean by B? B is what? Terminator region. This is what? The terminator region. Cool. Now going ahead, children, I will be doing all the questions. Okay, and now which site of transcription unit provides the binding site for RNA polymerase? It is this site. What do you call this as? Promoter. if you have regularly attended my class, we have did the question, okay? Okay, just check. And now what do we have? Write the sequence of bases of the mRNA transcribed from the template given in the diagram. So mRNA you have to make, my dear children. In mRNA, what do you do? In mRNA, what do you do? So you have 3' to 5'. So you're going to make mRNA in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, and in RNA you have U. Okay, you have U. Just a second, okay? Parts A and B. Okay, that is kind of confusing. So I think, listen, so B part, if you see like this, is a transcription unit, it is a terminator region, right? It is the terminator region. But if they had to write it like, if they were looking for template strand and coding strand, would have written like that. I assume it would have been written like that. Anyways, let's see what comes. This would not be wrong even if it's tried like this, because it's the same thing. Okay, now yes, we were writing the mRNA sequence. So let's see the mRNA sequence. So over here, A will go with U, T with A, G with C, C with G, A with U again, C with G again, G with C, and A with U and C with G again. This will be the mRNA sequence that we have. A is coding strand. Okay, we can consider it as coding strand. Okay, we can consider it as a coding strand and also the structural gene, but let's, because they have not put an arrow mark over here saying that, okay, so even if it's coding strand or the structural gene, we would be going ahead with the answer is positive. And now B, my dear children, since it is above the terminator region, I suppose it's the terminator sequence that they are looking forward for. Okay, but since it is a confusing thing, I think they will be giving you marks for either of the options that I have already told you. Fine, and this is the thing. Now going ahead, 44th question. Our body is provided with different types of non-specific immunity barriers at the time of birth. That means you're talking about innate immunity, my dear children. So basically there are 4 types. You have to tell the 4 types. First one is physical barrier, skin. Okay, skin, everything, mucus and everything. Second thing, physiological barrier, skin you can write. Okay, the second thing, physiological barrier, you can write tears. You can write tears and basically the acid released in your body, that. And the third one is basically the cellular barriers. You have macrophages, you have P-mineral, neutrophils, okay? All of this thing comes under cellular barriers. Fourth one, you have cytokine barriers as an interferons which are released from the, let's say, this virus affected cells. All this thing you can write, okay? You do not have to, listen, wait. This is the template strand already. This is already the template strand which is in 3' to 5' direction. You're going to make the mRNA from 5' to 3' direction. So you do not need the coding strand there. There is no need of coding strand. You can directly code this. Okay? Works, Fatima? And even if you did like that, that's not a problem. But this is the strand that you have to decode. Psychological barriers, there is nothing like that. Physiological barrier is definitely there. Yes, works. Now, I suppose that is done. Okay. Any other specific question, my dear children? The paper was actually very, very easy. It's not at all difficult. 2 examples of evolution by anthropogenic activity. Can you tell me the question number, please? Can you tell me the question number? I will be opening it over here. Just a second. I have the question somewhere. Yeah, got it. So over here, 2 examples. Basically, the use of pesticides. People started using pesticides. Now what happened? The pests which were there is started getting resistant of the pesticides which were used. So it's because of the anthropogenic activities, human activities, my dear children, that they slowly become resistant to that. Okay. So and then the nature selected them. The nature is selecting them. Okay. Works. And the second one, basically you can talk about the industrialization thing, melanism, industrial melanism. That is also an example of anthropogenic activity. We were the ones who did what? Pollution. Okay, and then later on the nature selected the black moth. Easy. Okay, Manikanta, A is the coding strand. It can be the coding strand. Okay, A can be considered as the coding strand and also the structural gene. Either way, if you have written the answer, I think you should be getting the marks. Okay. 28th question. 28th question. Where is it? 28. Okay. List the features required for the flowers pollinated by wind. flowers pollinated by wind, the pollen should be light, it should not be sticky, my dear children, and the stamens should be well exposed. Okay, the stigma itself should be feathery. Okay, so that can trap the things. The flowers need not have nectar or things like that. These are the features of wind pollinated things. So you can write at least these points. 33rd question will be somewhere here. List the 3 uses of genetically modified plants. So genetically modified plants are basically what disease resistant, okay, and pest resistant. You can give the example of BT cotton. Second thing, genetically modified plants, basically they have high yield, okay, they have high yield. And the third thing, basically genetically modified plants could be of high nutritional value, for example golden rice. 3 things, 3 points you can write easily. Okay, 29th question first. Okay, name the human male accessory glands. Human male accessory glands, you have 3 of them. One is seminal vesicle, the second one is seminal vesicle, and then you have bulbourethral gland and prostate gland. 3 accessory glands. Okay, now we will go step by step. Okay, in an ecosystem the number of primary producers is 4 and the number and primary consumer is 21. Is 21. Okay, construct an ecological pyramid for this ecosystem. The number of primary producers, as in producers, basically is a low in number, that is it is 4 in number, and the primary consumers, the one that feed on them. So it is an inverted pyramid, my dear children, that you get. It will be what? An inverted pyramid that you are gonna get over here. Okay, fine, works. I hope 34th is answered, and please write trophic level 1, trophic level 2 and things like that. Now going ahead, you have 23rd, 24th, 25th. Wait. Okay, AUG, I told you already, AUG has dual function. Justify the statement. It is start codon and it is also coding for methionine. Okay, now analyze the table given below in relation to human evolution. First, human-like being the hominid with brain capacity between 650 cc to 800 cc. It is Homo habilis. It is what? Homo habilis. Now, large brain capacity around 900 cc and probably 8 meat. They are Homo erectus. They are Homo erectus. It is not estrogen, dear. It is not estrogen. Okay, because estrogen is not going to basically maintain. The one that majorly maintains the endometrium, it is progesterone. Okay. Done. 30. How do IUDs function in bringing out contraception effectively? So you have 3 types of IUDs. One is non-medicated IUDs. The second one is medicated IUDs. Second one is copper releasing IUDs, and the third one is basically medicated IUDs. So non-medicated IUDs leads to phagocytosis of sperms. They kill the sperms. Second, copper releasing IUDs basically helps with the motility of the sperm. They lower down the motility of the sperm. Now the third thing, medicated IUDs basically they are going to not allow implantation to happen and also makes the cervical mucus really thick that the sperm cannot enter and does not allow ovulation to happen as well. Okay. Spelling is wrong. Will they cut mark? Usually they would not be cutting mark if your handwriting and everything is super good. Then that's super. Okay. 39th, please. Okay, champion, where is 39? Name the biocontrol agents of aphids and mosquito respectively. For aphids, we have ladybird. For mosquito, we have grasshopper. Okay, how Bacillus thuringiensis can be used as a biocontrol agent? How do you use it as a biocontrol agent? Basically, the genes, the cry gene which codes for protoxin, my dear children, it is there. You can take it. Okay, sorry, this particular Bacillus thuringiensis, my dear children, you can make it into spores and add it with water and spray it on the plants, my dear children. And when an insect have it, what will happen? The protoxin becomes active in the gut of the insect, and the insect will be killed because it is going to cleave the epithelial lining over there. And apart from that, I can take the gene from Bacillus thuringiensis and I can do recombinant DNA technology. I can put it in the plant, that's such as BT cotton and all. Okay. If we write the types, is it enough? I'll recommend you. Is it enough? If you have written at least one or two one function, it would have been great. Okay. Dragonfly and fruit fly. Yeah. 24th question should be underlined. 24th question. There is no need to underline. You just have to. Okay. Works. Just a second. Any other questions, or do you want me? We'll do MCQs one more. Okay, we'll do MCQs once more just for our idea. Okay, just give me a second. I'll be switching the account. Okay. So over here, first MCQ, my dear children. Sporopollen is the most resistant organic material known. Is that true? Yes. No enzyme that degrades sporopollen is known so far. That is also true. So this becomes your answer. Okay. So what is the answer? Both correct. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. That is becomes your answer. Second question. You have the process of transformation of spermatids into sperm. It is known as what? What do you call as? Spermatids to sperm, do you call it as spermiogenesis? This process is known as spermiogenesis. I'll get back to the 36th, 35th, every question, okay? Do not worry. Now, which one among the following is essential for maintenance of endometrium and for implantation of the fertilized ovum? It is progesterone, okay? You can write progesterone. And now, select one among the given that is probable reason for explosive growth of population in India. It will be what? Basically, increase in the number of people in reproducible age, not this. Not this, okay? Now, write one among the following is a contraceptive method that involves no medicine or device. It will be coitus interruptus. It will be coitus interruptus because you do not need any medicine. It's a natural process that is happening over there. Which one of the following art can be used to rectify if the infertility is due to low sperm count, my dear children? So you need sperms and you need to put it inside the reproductive tract of the female. You call this as intrauterine insemination, IUI. This becomes the answer, okay? Nagavani will come to 23rd question. Do not worry, okay? Going ahead, we have which one among the given is a simple used in human pedigree analysis for consanguineous mating? It will be B. Okay, it will be B. Going ahead, which one among these represent the flow of genetic information? First the DNA, it is transcribed to mRNA, then it is translated to protein. Going ahead, if the change in gene frequency occurs by chance, what do you call this as? You will call this as genetic drift. Okay, LH and FSH is not the answer. Okay, it is not the answer. Please. Now, next. Which is the test that can be suggested among the given for a patient with symptoms such as sustained high fever? Where do you see sustained high fever? You see in typhoid, my dear children, constipation, headache and everything. So for typhoid, what is the test that we have? We have Vidal test, so this becomes your answer. Okay. Now, going ahead, which among the following is an enzyme modified by genetic engineering and used as a clot buster? It will be streptokinase. It will be streptokinase. Okay. Told you. Toluene classes, it is not LH and FSH. Please get it correct. Okay. Now, next thing. In which method the plant cell are bombarded with high velocity microparticles of gold coated with DNA? It is biolistic method or gene gun method. Okay. And the use of bioresources by multinational companies and other organizations without proper authorization is known as biopiracy. Now, in which of the processes given the humus is degraded and release of inorganic nutrients occur? It is mineralization. Okay, it will be what? Mineralization. Humus is done. Humification is something different where humus is being formed. Okay, now which one among this is an example of ex situ conservation? It is cryopreservation. And okay, now few flowering plants have evolved a special mechanism to produce seeds without fertilization. It is known as apomixis. Seed without fertilization, apomixis. Okay, single step large mutation is known as saltation. And dash acts on the uterine muscle and causes stronger contraction. It is oxytocin. It is what? Oxytocin. Going ahead, members of genus dash forms mycorrhiza and absorb phosphorus. It is what? Glomus. It is glomus. Now, the step in which bands of DNA are cut out and extracted from gel piece is termed as what? Elution. It will be termed as elution. Now, draw a neatly labeled diagram. You have to draw a neatly labeled diagram of a dicot embryo, my dear children. We will go question by question. Please don't worry. Differentiate between linkage and recombination. Linkage means basically when the genes are closely associated, you call it less linkage. Recombination happens when homologous chromosomes are there and parts of it are being exchanged. Okay, second point you can write about linkage is that if the genes are closely associated, it will lead to less variation. In recombination, you can write that recombination, if recombination is more, it leads to more variation. Okay. 23rd, AUG has dual function. It codes for methionine and also it's a stop codon. First human like being with the hominid with brain capacity between this and this, it is Homo habilis. Okay, large brain capacity around 900 cc, it is Homo erectus. Now, which drug is very useful in patients who have undergone surgery? It is morphine because morphine is a painkiller and a sedative. Okay, it is a sedative. Now, going ahead, passing marks is around, I'm not sure, it's 20 something. Okay, I'll confirm and tell. Now, from which part of virus infected plant healthy plants can be recovered? What plants, my dear? Which part? You can recover it from axillary bud. Okay, or basically apical or axillary? Apical or axillary meristem. apical or axillary meristem, from that you can take, because those will be won't be virus infected, at least those parts. And this technique, my dear children, basically you're taking the part meristem and you're growing it, it becomes a part of tissue culture, and in tissue culture you have micropropagation where basically you're increasing the number. Okay, so meristem is the thing. So meristem is the thing that you take, and it is a part of tissue culture where you're going to culture it. Okay, going ahead, tropical regions have greater biological diversity. Give two hypotheses proposed by ecologists in favor of this. Why? Because tropical regions, my dear children, they will be having high amount of sunlight, leading to more productivity. Second thing, basically there is no frequent glaciation and things like that. It's more stable, which is why it will lead to better things. Ma'am, I wrote tissue culture. It's okay. Great, no problem. Okay, in tissue culture, you take the meristem and you're going to grow it. Yeah, so it's fine. Okay. Going ahead, hi Riyaz, hello, someone knows my name, yes. Now list the features required for the flowers pollinated by wind. The pollen grains should be light, it should be non-sticky, okay, stamen should be well exposed, and the stigma should be feathery. The flowers, my dear children, should be coming in the form of inflorescence, so that be visible, and they just have one ovule each, okay. And there is no need of nectar and things like that. Now name the human male accessory glands. You have a seminal vesicle, you have a prostate gland, and you have bulbourethral gland. How do IUDs function in bringing about contraception? You talk about 3 types of IUD, my dear children. What is it? Non-medicated, that is lipase loop. What does it do? It leads to phagocytosis of sperm. That is how it works. So you have to tell how it works. Okay. Now second thing, you have copper releasing IUDs, that is copper T. Okay, how does it work? It messes with the motility of the sperms. Third thing, you have medicated IUDs, that is progesterone and LNG20. What do? Basically they does not allow implantation to happen and increases the cervical mucus and does not allow ovulation to happen as well. Okay, writing the bio exam is okay, retest is okay, but I don't think you need it. The paper is easy. Okay, ma'am, can we write linkage and distance relationship in 22? You can write about it as well. Okay, I have written only 2 types. If you have explained it well, then I think it would work. Okay, Priya? Okay, mention any 2 examples for evolution by anthropogenic action. I told you pesticides, because pesticides, when we keep it repeatedly spray, my dear children, the pests become what? Resistant to pesticides. So this is because of anthropogenic activity, that is human activity. And industrial melanism is also an example. We did the pollution, which is why the black moths were selected later on by natural selection. State Hardy-Weinberg principle, that is the allelic frequency remains constant from generation to generation. Okay, that is Hardy-Weinberg principle. Now, what do you say? What are you saying? Mama, I love you. I got 60 marks. Okay, that's so good. So great. Ma'am, I wrote it as somatic hybridization. Somatic hybridization is not the one. Okay, my name is Jasmine Joy. Okay, going ahead. What is a carcinogen? And Riyaz, you're scoring 96 out of 97. That's so great. Now, what is carcinogen? Carcinogen is something that causes cancer, my dear children. Give an example each for physical and biological carcinogen. Physical carcinogen, you have UV rays, you have X rays, the ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. Now, biological carcinogens, you have oncogenes, oncogenic viruses, my dear children, which viruses that will be transferring their oncogene, cancer-causing gene into our body. Then you have proto-oncogenes, which is there in our body. They are doing some other function, but if it is mutated, it becomes active and our cells becomes cancerous cells. Okay, so your answer is this. Okay. Okay, list the 3 uses of genetically modified plants. I told you it basically, first thing, ma'am, your name, ma'am, your name. I got 70. Oh my god. Totipotency would not be, okay. You can say with the help of totipotency, they will be able to generate the whole plant, but the technique is not totipotency, okay. We are going to start the Comet K free batch really soon. We will be telling you, okay. Surekha, very, very great, so great. Okay, now list the 3 uses. Yeah, I was talking about that. So basically, the plants can be made pest resistant. Second thing, it can have high yield. Third thing, it can have basically high nutrition value. For example, golden rice. Okay, in an ecosystem, the number of primary producers as in producers, my dear children, it is 4, and the number of primary consumers, the one that consumes it, it is 21. So this is an inverted pyramid of number. This is an inverted pyramid of number, my dear children. Carcinogen, can we write like metastasis of tumor cells? Carcinogen is the one that causes cancer, so you do not have to write like that. Okay, young trader, so great. Okay, draw a neatly labeled diagrammatic view of the mammary gland. I hope you all made it. Okay, this was put down in the most important things out there. So I hope you did it. Yeah, next thing, how phenylketonuria is an example of pleiotropy. What do you mean by pleiotropy? Where one particular gene is giving, is responsible for two characters. So phenylketonuria is a perfect example of that, my dear children, because what happens is that the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase, when it is mutated, okay, it is not formed. Two things happen. One is phenylalanine to tyrosine conversion does not take place. Second thing, it is going to cause reduced pigmentation of hair and skin. So there are two characters associated with it. Okay, so that is why this is an example of pleiotropy. Now schematically represent the sex determination in the case of honeybee. I hope you all did it. In the honeybee, they show haploid diploid sex determination, my dear children. So diploid ones, my dear children, the 32 ones will be all what, females, and the 16 ones will be all male. Over here, please mention about parthenogenesis and things like that. Okay, works. Going ahead, explain incomplete dominance with an example. So the example was snapdragon, there is mirabilis jalapa, red plant, white plant, you cross, you get pink plant. So you should have explained that. If you have not, you should. Okay, going ahead, write any 5 salient features of the human genome. Again, very important thing. So you can just a second. Okay, okay, the genetic, okay, we were talking about the human genome, so you have to tell how many genes are being found out, or basically usually these genes contain these many base pairs, but there is dystrophin who has million base pairs and things like that. Only 50% of the genes is being decoded. Out of that, only 2% codes for something. Rest of all of it was repetitive sequence. Chromosome number 1 has the highest number of genes. Chromosome number Y has the lowest number of genes. Any such 5 features, if you mention, my dear children, you get marks. Okay, this is a feature of human genome. Cool. Going ahead with the next thing, we have name the biocontrol agents of aphids. For aphids we have ladybird, for mosquito we have grasshopper. Okay, now how Bacillus thuringiensis can be used as biocontrol agent? Again, I am telling you, Bacillus thuringiensis has a cry gene. Cry gene codes for what? Protoxin, which are inactive. And now if we put the Bacillus thuringiensis as spores and we mix it with water and put it on the plants, my dear children, the insects which are going to eat the plant is going to get Bacillus thuringiensis, and in the midgut of the insect, this particular protoxin becomes active and is going to cleave down all the epithelial cells over there. Tada, that's done. Okay, so that's how it can be used as a biocontrol agent. Now diagrammatically represent the recombinant DNA technology. For that, you can use this particular diagram to represent the DNA, recombinant DNA technology, where you're taking the foreign DNA, you have the vector, and then you're cutting it over, putting it over here, and basically you can say that ligases you are using, and then you can show amplification. You can just write amplification, and then you're putting it in one particular cell, they are transforming. Okay, all these points you can be run. Okay, works. Now going back, where were we? Okay, now the method, you have to give suitable terms for all the things. Okay, let's see. The method Mediterranean orchid offers employees to get pollinated. Sexual deceit. It is sexual deceit. Second thing, species facing competition might evolve mechanism that promote coexistence rather than exclusion. So it is known as resource partitioning, that particular thing. Okay. Next thing, the parasitic bird lays eggs in the nest of its host and lets the host bird incubate them. Brood parasitism. It is known as brood parasitism. The interaction between cattle egret and the grazing cattle. Basically, one is getting benefit, other is not. So cattle egret is getting the benefit. It is known as commensalism. Okay, now interaction in which one species is harmed whereas the other is unaffected. It is what? Emmensalism. It is what? Emmensalism. Okay, it will be emmensalism. Okay, it's sexual deceit, my dear children, over here. Okay, going ahead, read the below given statement and answer the given thing. A breeder is interested in crossing different species of plants to combine desirable characters to produce commercially superior varieties. What do you have over here? What do you have over here? So basically, what is this procedure? It is known as artificial hybridization, and then you have to talk about its steps in detail. That is, you take the superior varieties, then you remove the anther, this is known as emasculation, and then you bag it, and then until and unless they are reached maturity, and then you put the pollen grains again you bag it, and then you wait for the things. Okay, all this thing. Second, no. Second is not mutualism. Species facing competition might evolve mechanism that promotes coexistence rather than exclusion. So it is resource partitioning. They partition their resources, my dear children. So it is not mutualism. Ma'am Lam for Bidar, thank you so much. Yes, ma'am, the questions that I told, yes, these are the questions that came in. I'm so happy. Okay, going ahead with this, name the parts A and B in the diagram. Now that is kind of confusing because A can be the coding strand and B is basically the terminator region only. A can be the coding strand and A can be also the structural gene, but yeah, as you said, A can be more or less the coding strand. That will be better. Okay, and now which site of transcription unit provides the binding site for RNA polymerase? It is this, that is promoter site. Now write the sequence of bases of mRNA transcribed from the template given in the diagram. So mRNA that you make, so it is a template strand, you just have to make it from 5' to 3' direction, you get the mRNA strand out of it. So it will be U, A, C, G, U, wherever T is there you have to replace with U, my dear children. Okay, you should not be writing A goes with T. This is an mRNA, and please make sure you're writing 5' to 3' direction also. We have done this question. Okay. Now, our body is provided with different types of non-specific immunity barriers. This is known as innate immunity. Justify the statement with suitable examples. You have first one, physical barrier, second one, physiological barrier, third one, cellular barrier, and fourth one, cytokine barriers. Lavanya 68 and 70, wow. Terminator gene, is it correct? Yeah, terminator region is more correct, but okay. Okay, works. Resource partitioning is correct, and pseudocopulation is won't be that correct. The method applied is basically sexual deceit, but okay. Ma'am, instead of promoter site, if you have written transcription start site, is it wrong? I would say they wanted the correct thing, that is promoter, so that would be more correct. So children, now it's done. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you also. I hope it was helpful, all the videos and everything. And now there is nothing left from my end. Okay, so wishing you all the best for your future things, and today's exam is done. Ma'am, I wrote ladybug instead of ladybird. What should I tell you? Okay. Terminator region would be more correct than terminator gene, my dear child. Okay. Chalo, Jasmine ma'am, yes, tell me. Okay, not initiator, it is promoter region. Thank you so much. Okay. Can we write meristematic propagation? You usually do not write that. Okay, it's not there in your book, right? So, yes. So that's all, my dear champions. I hope it was helpful. If you like the video and if you like the help and everything, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, suggest to your friends as well, and wishing you happy vacation. And if you're someone who's studying for KCET, please start studying, take a break and start studying, okay? It won't be initiator, it would be promoter region, okay? Lots of love, take care, and bye-bye. Thanks to you too.